Hello, let's get into the comparison video between the Sailor 1911 Large and Demonstrator version and the Pilot Custom Made 23 in the Amber finish. They're both fine nibs and they're both Japanese brands, which is why I want to compare them. And they're similar in price point. And yeah, so let's start with the Pilot Custom Made 23. You have the stiff clip that Pilot's known for. It says Pilot, the ballpoint clip. It's very practical. Then on the band, you have the 3 stars that are lacquered. It says Custom Made 23, Pilot Made in Japan. You have the vacuum filler. You can check it out on my channel where I go more in detail. But you have the rod. As you can see, it has way bigger ink capacity. It's hard to clean too. So compared to the Sailor 1911, which is a cartridge converter, so not as much ink capacity. It's a stiff clip as well, but it's very practical. Then you have, it says Sailor, Japan, founded in 1911. You open both of these up. You have 14 karat gold nib and Pilot Custom Made 23 and number 15 size of Pilot. It's their own sizing. Then you have the 1911 large 21 karat gold nib. They're both plastic feeds in navy. So you can see the size between them. The Pilot is a little bit bigger, not just in length but in width as well. The nib sections are pretty similar. The Pilot Custom Made 23 flares out more. They're pretty much the same width. This might be a little bit more girthier. As you can see, because I'm just gonna cap this. Because this is a cartridge converter, has Sailor gold converter, it just doesn't take that much ink. But I don't need that much ink capacity, it's fine for me. But if you want a lot of ink capacity, then the Pilot Custom Made 23 is the right option. Also, one of the things I like the most about this demonstrator is that there's no ink spill right here. Most demonstrators have ink spills here, like the Custom 74, Pilot Custom 74, which has ink spill, which I don't like, which bothers me. So this is one of the best demonstrators out there for me. But one of the downsides of this demonstrator is like this is not fully clear, it's kind of smoked out. And there are some ink spills, but it's normal, but it's not the same look all the way around. It's like clear, then it's just this cloudy thing, which kind of like throws it off. It doesn't bother me that much, but if it bothers you, then this can be a big deal. Whereas this one is amber finish. In camera, you can't really see it that much, but this is transparent and light. You can see how much ink in there. You see the rod, the vacuum filler rod, which is very useful. So they're both resin, made out of resin, so they're both very lightweight. This is a little bit more heavy because it has more ink, but they're both very comfortable to use. You can post both of them if you wish. I don't post my pens, but if you do, then this works as well. As you can see, the Sailor is smaller, even when unposted. The Sailor 1911, the cap has a bigger width, but in terms of the length, the Custom Made 23 is longer. I could do some comparison to other pens. Have Demonstrator 5, Yukara Royale, and 1000 of 5, Visconti Homo sapiens. You can see the sizes between all of them. But yeah, this is a very, and I can show it into very like oversized pen, which is the Custom Yorushi, which dwarfs all of them. But now, in terms of just final conclusions, what I like and what I don't like about the pen, I mentioned some things I don't like about the Sailor 1911, which is how this thing is cloudy. And it's a cartridge converter, so it's not a piston converter or a vacuum filler, so it's not as much ink capacity, but it's a lot easier to clean than this. Because this is a vacuum filler, so it's a lot of ink. It's hard to clean. You have to keep on like basically doing the vacuum filler over and over to clean the pen, because you can't really unscrew this part. Well, it's against the warranty for you to do it. So yeah, that's one of the downsides of the Pilot Custom 823, but they're both very good pens and just very lightweight for just longer writing sessions. The downside could be for some people it's made out of resin, it's not as high quality material. Considering its price, you would expect it to be better quality, but they're both very good quality plastic basically. So in terms of the prices, this goes for like retail, I think 300. Same thing for this, I believe. But I got this for, I think, 250 or 200. I forgot, 250, I think. I got this for 176, something like that. So this was $100 more expensive, but close to $100 more expensive. But they're both great pens. You can buy them pre-owned for much cheaper as well. And yeah, for writing sample, I just want to get into like basically the finishing details on both of these pens. I personally use the Pilot Custom 823 a lot more than this because I like the softness of this more than the Sailor type feedback. I really like the Sailor feedback type. It's like pencil type feedback occasionally, not all the time. So that's why I haven't gotten rid of this yet. But I prefer this type of feedback for just daily use, which I'll get into more in the writing sample. Okay, let's get into the writing sample. Let's get into the writing sample between the 1911 large and the Custom 823. I'll start with the Custom 823. This is Rhodia pad paper. This is a very smooth nib. And it's also very soft compared to the 1911 large. It's a fine nib. The ink, let's try this way. Ink is Pilot Blue. It's the ink that it comes with when you buy a retail version of this in the US. There's slight feedback, but not much. Because it's a fine nib, there's not that much line variation, but this is very smooth. And it is not the wettest nib, as you can see, but it's very enjoyable to write with. Now, let's compare it to 1911, which is a lot rigid and it's not as smooth as the Custom 823. This is also in a fine nib. Ink is J. Herbin Anniversary Version Emerald of Chivor. It's the green blue ink. As you can hear the Sailor type feedback. It's very smooth, but you hear the feedback. It's like a singing feedback. That makes sense. I'm trying out like different angles, see which one looks better for the camera. But yeah, there's not any line variation. This is a very like a nail type nib. It's like the platinum nibs, but this is a lot more smoother. And this, you don't. It's not a feedback as in you feel scratches, but you hear the feedback. It's like a pencil type sounds. And this is not a wet ink either. But yeah. When it comes to both of them, for final conclusions, they're pretty much in the same price range, whereas the Pilot Custom 23 is a little bit more expensive. So, in terms of which one you would prefer, if you like a very smooth, like barely any feedback, noise, or anything, then you would go with Pilot Custom 23 because it's soft nib. If you want like a if you want to know your writing and you want to have a pencil type feedback, then the Sailor 1911 large is the perfect option. But both of them are great pens. It's just a matter of preference, and I love both of them. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.